it all in concert, as it were.
Hi, everyone. It's Norman Kochnick here from Eyes on Cricket with Norman Kochnick. You can watch live now. This is effectively the first of the episodes in relation to the World Cup, the so-called ICC T20 World Cup, which has a number of various, Rick, how are you? A number of countries that are involved, including some qualifiers that they're still playing, and that we've got currently Australia versus India in a warm-up match. Thank you, Bram. Welcome back. Thank you to you too. So we've got a warm-up match between Australia and India at the moment smacking them. They're none for 62, I think it is. After Australia were 5 for 152. They lost 3 very early wickets, did Australia. Dave Warner yet again. Mitch Marsh is batting at first drop. He got out first ball. I don't know why he's batting at first drop. Seriously, even though he's in form, he shouldn't be batting. He should be batting towards the middle order. And Aaron Finch got out cheaply. Then both Maxwell, who looked fantastic for his 37, did very well. And then a very steady Steve Smith, who got 57 batted together. Then came Stoinis, who came in for a very quick 541. So you can see both Maxwell and Stoinis are in some sort of form. They both batted well, but the score then led to a 5 for 152. Even Kohli was able to bowl a few overs, which was interesting. But Ashwin, Jadeja were there, so spins heavily in the format. They got Chakravarti and even Bulvi bowled as well. Chahar, they had quite a few bowlers bowling. Looked pretty good, actually. And at the moment, Australia's bowling has been pretty ordinary. KL Rahul and Rohit Sharma are just cantering at the moment. Done for 63 off 8 and look to be absolutely cruising. I hate to put a mock on them. But then there's a match following. Afghanistan are playing the West Indies. England are playing New Zealand as we speak as well. There's some updated scores that are going on there, if I'm not wrong. That's also going on. Of course, yeah, so the Netherlands is playing. So in the warm-up format, Australia are playing India, England are playing New Zealand, and Afghanistan are playing West Indies. They're in the warm-up format. But the actual qualifiers, Netherlands were 4 for 164, and at the moment, Namibia are the 10.3 overs, 3 for 73. So pretty close. Looks like we might have a game on there. Looks like Netherlands is slightly in front. Wait and see. And then you've got later on, say, Ireland and Sri Lanka both haven't qualified. And they're playing another qualifying match, and I'll refer to that as a qualifier. So the warm-up matches, India are absolutely cruising at 65 off 8.3. They need 80 out of 69 balls. The way they're going, it should be a cruise. Rohit Sharma looks in total ease, but KL Rahul's pretty impressive. Yeah, so Australia put together what would look like a fairly good side. And Scotland is versus Oman as a virtual qualifier. Well, yeah, that will certainly mean that it's true. Warner back in form, 1 of 7. Yeah, Barami, right, he's not any better or worse than he's been all the way along. It's quite ordinary, to be honest. India's doing particularly well. Yeah, so Scotland, Oman could be a real qualifier. It's really Scotland, I think, is Scotland's with Bangladesh, I think, in that group. And then the other group, Sri Lanka, and quite frankly, Ireland is another qualifier of sorts. Yeah, you would have to think that Sri Lanka and Bangladesh are through, and you'd have to think that Scotland and Ireland are through, or the combination of those sides. I think the Netherlands may be just missing a little bit of a trick. Yeah, it's particularly interesting. Even though this is a warm-up match, Australia's not playing. Well, they got 5 152, which was commendable, but it's being taken well and truly care of here by India at the moment. And you have to be careful not to get too complacent. But they look like they've got this game well and truly at hand. They're releasing a lot of videos on a lot of media conferences, media interviews or press conferences with the Maxwells and the Hazelwoods and Morgans and even Mark Wood. It's been quite a few of those. The Indians have been well and truly interviewed, but their BCCI has got them under wraps somewhat. It's rather unfortunate, but yeah, it will be interesting. So we are basically looking at a post review of the Australia England-India match, post review of the Netherlands-Namibia, and a preview of Ireland, Sri Lanka, Afghanistan, West Indies. Quite a few things going on there. You'd say this is pretty indicative of the form of, well, again, Dave Warner out very cheaply. Some experienced Bangladesh struggling with newbies. Yeah, they are not on their best form at the moment, but I think they'll sneak through. Scotland's been very, very strong. They should go through as well. You would think Sri Lanka would go through, and you would think Ireland would go through. They're the obvious four. Yeah, I'll look at the group stages and see the men's T20 warm-up. They're putting their T20 World Cup. The points table. Let's look at the points table there. At this stage, Sri Lanka have had 1 win, Ireland have had 1 win, Netherlands and the Netherlands have had losses. I couldn't see Sri Lanka and Ireland not getting through. Scotland, Oman, well, Bangladesh better be careful, because if Oman were to, say, for example, beat Scotland, it would certainly make it somewhat more difficult. Now, that's a sky ball there from Rahul, and Dave Warner's taken a pretty good catch to dismiss the first wicket of India off a ball that probably could have went the distance, but yeah, 1 for 16 out of 9. You would think that that's not really going to prevent them too much. So the group ones: England, Australia, South Africa, West Indies, Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, New Zealand are the teams there. With England, Australia, South Africa, West Indies, the 4 that have actually gone through at this stage, you would say that Rahul got 39 of 31, 2 4s and 3 6s, and was giving it a good old red crack there. England, Australia, South Africa, West Indies is a difficult 4. England, you'd think, in the West Indies are certainties that would leave Australia and South Africa out. In the Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, New Zealand group, India should be the one that's definitely through. Then there'll be a fight between Pakistan and New Zealand for the other spot in the finals. I'm almost certain to say that will be the makeup. I can't imagine it being any other way than that. With qualifiers coming through, but they're not going to go any further. I cannot see a Sri Lanka or Ireland or a Scotland or a Bangladesh getting through either in that top 4. So really, we're looking at the top 4 right there. Yeah, so that's the state of play. Interviews: Owen Morgan, Maxwell, Stoinis, Hazelwood, number of Indian interviews, other teams as well. Don 007 says, I'm feeling scared for Warner, being honest. He's badly out of form. He is. They're this high cricket legends. Hi, everyone. Look, the reality is that Australia's in deep trouble, really. Maxwell, Stoinis, and Smith might be other ones to say them, but Mitchell Marsh, as I expected, he got out for a duck. This is, I know, a so-called war match, but he will not do well. He's not a first-drop batsman. They're all saying he's looking great on the nets. He's hitting the ball beautifully. How wonderful. Let's see him do that in a real match. Okay. Don 007 also felt bad for James Patterson, who's retired at 31. Far too early. Has not played enough Test cricket. Deserved more. Would have been the natural backup bowler for Stark, Hazelwood, and even the likes of Cummins, but now he's not there. Australia's got, if one of those 3 get injured, we've got limited good bowlers. Jai Richardson maybe, but really limited bowls to come through. Aussies have a decent team, Anu Singh reckons, this time. Probably full strength compared to how they were back. Yeah, but they're about to be beaten here again, I'd say. So, yeah, we'll just see how long that all... I don't think Australia's going to do well. They're playing a red-hot England and West Indies lineup. So, Surya Kumar Yadav, Sky, has come in. Don't know whether he's been in very good form, to be honest. Don't know whether he really warrants being in this position. Ishan Kishan, absolutely fantastic. In great form. So this, guys, is... I've come on a bit early. I didn't expect to be coming on about World Cup at this point. I was going to leave it until Saturday when I would call the first of the real matches start, where Australia plays South Africa, which is followed by England versus the West Indies. And then, of course, the next day, India versus Pakistan, which is a hell of a lot of discussion about it being postponed or even banned or them not turning up, the Indians, that is. I hope not. Whatever border issues occurs, got nothing to do with these two teams. We know that. So that's my thoughts on that. So I'll come on a bit earlier. It's now Wednesday, Australian time. Saturday will really bring out the finals. I mean, again, looking at the two, Group A and Group B, Sri Lanka, Ireland, Netherlands, and Namibia. Namibia is not going to have a hope. Netherlands, unlikely. It's Sri Lanka and Ireland going through there. The second lot was Scotland's put on a great performance. They're certainly almost putting their foot through the door. Papua New Guinea's admirable, but they're not going to go any further. Bangladesh and Oman are going to fight off that second spot there, and you'd think Bangladesh will win that. But if Oman beat Scotland today, we don't know, do we? Sky Kumar's just smacked Agar, albeit he just got the wicket of K. Rahul, but Agar's not as great as what we're thinking. And Zampa, I do like. Okay. Why Patton's never got a chance in BBL and T20 cricket? I don't know why. He has the regular injuries. And they're clearly the favourites to win this title. They are. They're playing like they're absolutely smashing Australia. They're 1 for 73. And the current run rate's 73. And they're going to step it up now. And they're going to go, hopefully, 1 wicket down. Ending, yeah, so... Yeah, it's quite... Robert Sharma looks very solid. We haven't seen Kohli, of course, as well. Punt, Ishan Kishan, they got a lot of depth. Zampa, I rate him as well. Certainly do. Not posing any pressure for Rohit Sharma. The Rohit Sharma's absolutely smoking it at the moment. Glenn Maxwell looked good for his 37. Stoinis looked pretty good for his 41. Smith, again, hasn't played much because he didn't get a game or maybe 2 games for Delhi Capitals. But, yeah, he looked okay and he was 50-odd. But the Warner, Finch, Mitchell Marsh at first drop, don't understand that. I don't get that. He may have done okay in other formats, but playing with the big boys now. Do you think Josh Inglis is going to get a chance in the playing 11 the first match of the tournament? I hope he does. He really should be put ahead of Matthew Wade, in my opinion. And Matthew Wade obviously feels that's not the case. But if Matthew Wade had any decency, he'd step aside. He's not the best player. So we do have a match this evening between Sri Lanka and Ireland, and that's probably the top 2 for that group and is of some importance. The Netherlands Namibia match is relatively, well, 3 for 107. They've got a chasing one, going to get 165 in 7 overs. Not impossible for Namibia to get up there, but you would think not. They're the 2 lower sides in that particular end of the comp anyway. So England versus New Zealand, what's the score there? England got 6 for 163. After 10 overs, New Zealand 6 for 87. So they're doing okay runs wise, not wicket wise. They've already lost 6 wickets. It's not good. New Zealand not showing much in the way of good for this so far. Australia took them quite easily. Okay, this is a warm-up match. I appreciate that, but I don't think we're showing. I don't think India are going in at half-heartedly. They want to smack Australia. I'll tell you now. It should be played. Okay. It should play. IPL like VR or can't watch India. Yeah, both of them, both IRE and Gaikwad deserved it. They'll get the chance. Do you see Wade or English in the front of Abhishek Agarwal? I would like to see Josh Inglis, but they're going to go with Wade, I'm sure, initially, and they may regret that. They may see him failing, and they might need to put him in after. That's what I think is going to happen. Why not wicket for Rahul Chahar or Bhuvi? It's quite difficult in this pitch. No, I think they both bowled pretty well, actually. So Ravi Shastri's there on his last tour. Aranjit Sridharan wants India to Australia final. It won't happen. Stoinis, the T factor, the X factor. This, as you said, Stoinis is, and Maxwell definitely. Both those two are. Steve Smith's okay, but Mitchell Marsh shouldn't be first drop. That's a mistake. That's a selection bungle. He's got out first ball today, so he's going to be a bit of a target, and he'll probably fall quite regularly. New Zealand is 6 for 88 after 10.5. They're not going to get the score. They've been not losing wicket. They could be all out before the end. So Aussie's most win because Smith and Marcus Saunders come in could be powers. Well, they could be. They're not bad, but I don't think they're going to do that well. No, I'm sorry. This is pretty much the way that I thought the game would go. 1 for 79. They're probably not going to lose another wicket. Maybe 1 or 2, and they'll cruise past the score. Mitch Marsh is now bowling. Is he good? He's just been driven down the ground for what looks like 4. The field's down there. Okay. Who would you have picked instead of Marsh in the squad? Marcus Labuschagne would have been floating around. I just think that Mitchell Marsh, if he's going to play, if he's going to be an all-rounder, he should bat in the middle order, or the lower middle order, in fact. And they push Smith up to 3. But or Mawson Maxwell up to 3. Interesting fact, no captain is in stellar form of late. It's absolutely true. Owen Morgan hasn't scored a run. Punt's been pretty ordinary as well. The Australian team, Larry Finch, has been injured, so he won't have much. Yeah, but it's true. Owen Morgan even was questioned in his interview about whether he would drop himself in his batting form. He would, and he said he would. And looks like Robert Sharma's just playing with him. 1 for 86. Mitchell Marsh is not good enough a bowler. Not good enough a bowler. Can't see Warner like this. It's terrible. You think, okay, Maxwell cemented his place at number 4. Absolutely. Brilliant batting by Namibia. They seem to be 3 for 120 off 14. They need 45 or 34. They got a chance. But both those sides are not making it through. England seems to have the measure of New Zealand, and India has a measure of Australia. And that's what I'm expecting for the rest of the tournament, actually. It's an interesting situation. So is Australia strong enough to defeat South Africa? It's going to be very close. I bet if Australia get de Kock and Markram out, they got a chance. Yeah, Australia should be able to beat South Africa, but they're both not going to make the semis at this point. Lovely shot. late as anything. It's another at the fourth for Sky. Should Chris Lynn replace Warner? I think so. Yash Kumble, I think that's a great idea, but unfortunately, Chris Lynn is nowhere to be seen in his squad, is he? He's not even close to being in the squad. Looked off colour after that injury he got in the second ODI against India. He's looked off colour since a long time. Why BCCI is keeping all the fans regarding Hardik's injury and bowling? I don't know. Hardik, Pandya, if he can't bowl, he should be in the side. Wow, beautiful batting by him. We've said that before, Australia. They're going along okay. They've got a pretty good chance. Yeah, so Sky Kumar absolutely is, well, seems okay for him. Warner's very chummy with everybody, but his personal form is up the creek. That's another poor score. What do you blame him? He's got about 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8 times he's got under 10. Not good. Maxwell's coming on the bowl. He's got a bit of a Midas touch. They're 1 for 91 after 12. 62 or 48. They're going to cruise the way they're going. Maxwell's a pretty clever bowler. But not when Rohit Sharma's in the mood that he's in. He's just sitting for a mighty. It's well up to the ground. Oh, my God. Tell Papua New Guinea games about weakness and strength. They played so good. Papua New Guinea are commendable. Labuschagne could have been a better all-round option, according to me. I believe Mitchell Marsh just grabbed this chance in the series against West Indies. Yeah, the low-level series, he did okay. He is not a number 3 batsman. He's an all-rounder at best, and he should be batting 7. And why he's opening his first shot was beyond me. He's proven it today lasted 1 ball. That's not good. One for 98. It's almost a runner ball already. This is a carve-up. Seriously. India, Australia, England, Pakistan will make the semis. New Zealand batting is weak. You're wrong with Australia, and you're probably wrong with Pakistan. I'm not sure. West Indies, I think, are to specials. England and West Indies, and India and either Pakistan or New Zealand. But yeah, Australia's a wrong selection. Pun has his pads on. There's the 100 up for India of 12.4 overs. 53 or 44 balls. A canter. Absolute canter. A lot of sweep shots have been employed, and that's going to be the name of the day with spinners. And on these slow pitches, it's the time for spinners to be swept. Suddenly, Joe Root's a very good sweeper as well. He's not even in the squad. Bit of a helicopter shot there from Sky. Can India defeat Australia? I said, blind Freddie could have said that. Okay. Hazelwood was excellent in IPL and a bit warmed up, so should he replace Richardson? Yeah, I think he should. And he's very good batting. Wendy's are your views on Sean Marsh. I know it is a bit of off topic, but I loved his batting. Why wouldn't he be able to make a bit? It was lazy. He was lazy. Great player, but very lazy. Just didn't keep lapses of concentration. When he was on song, he was brilliant, but he just didn't have it on song enough. Yeah, but he was a good player. When he's overrated, they have explosive batsmen who get out cheaply sooner or later. I don't think the West Indies are overrated. They got a lot of experience, enormous amount of experience in that side. So with 41 balls, 42 deliveries on 52 runs or 42 deliveries. All the rest, let's look here. Stone's just sort of hopping in. And so he's bowling well. Yeah, guys, if you're viewing the please subscribe. Don't just simply view. So Australia have used Stark, Cummins, Agar, Zampa, Richardson, Stoinis, Marsh, and Maxwell. A whole heap of bowlers. Only one has penetrated so far, Agar, but that was really not a penetration. It was just a false shot. It was a big hit. Beautiful cut shot from Rohit Sharma. That was power plus, and he's just at his 50. He looks in stupendous form too. So did KL Rahul. And they're 106 for one. 47 or $40. You can do it easily. It wasn't a bad delivery, it was just a good shot. I'm subscribed, so it feels good to know your views. Thank you. Look, Rohit Sharma and KL Rahul, it's like a picnic for them out there today. Sky's getting a bit of form up, but they still haven't used Punt, Kohli. There's a whole range of players they haven't used. They're in scary form, this Indian side. Rohit Sharma really should finish this innings off. Let's hope he does. Look at that 41. He looks so casual. He's casual as anything. It's quite incredible. Louise for Namibia got half century. Wow, 29 23 balls. Okay. So Namibia are 153, 135 for 3. They've got 30 runs of 24 balls. Very plausible, but it's the tail of two-tailing is there, really. Sorry, 26 balls. Who's the best T20 batsman ever? Honestly, Virat Kohli probably is still. Scored the most runs and deserves that title. But then Rohit Sharma must be up there now too. And then you got a whole string of other Indian players coming through. But I'd say that, Kohli's right up there. But Viv Richards didn't play this format very much. Viv Richards in this format would have been given license to kill from ball one, which he always did anyway. So, yeah, it would have been interesting. This is the ICC Academy grounds. Stoinis looks very upright with his bowling action. And Sharma's just chipping him away into the gap with great ease. New Zealand is 7 for 98 after 13.1. They're not going to get it. They're in threat of being all out, actually. What about Chris Gale? Oh, look, he certainly is one of the best T20 bowlers. Yes. Batsman, yes, absolutely. Punt looks very keen to get in the middle. No sign of Kohli batting. Indian players look in a mood just to be enjoying themselves. They're not really taking this very seriously, even though they're giving them a whooping. Look, Stoinis, Maxwell, and Smith didn't do too bad. Oh, what was that for a shot? That was the most bizarre shot. So late on the shot, but he's hit it. I'll obviously replay of that. It was like a scoop, but it was extremely late. It was a normal batting position, and he scooped it. I don't know how he did that, actually. Wow, that's the most bizarre shot. He swatted it. 40 or 36 balls. It's just a bit too easy for them, no? Were the two batsmen getting their gloves off? Or is he declaring or retiring? Or what is getting their gloves? Jack Cullis has been lauded as best all-rounder. He's up there for sure. There seems to be a little doubt this one. I know we're saying this is a warm match, but it's showing the form, I would say. This World Cup is really exciting, being honest. Curtis Campus hat-trick and Scotland giving up set in Bangladesh full on saying, but yeah, the Minnows sides are certainly trying their best and doing quite good. Can Stoinis and Finch be openers as he's opened several times in the IPL Liga? Yeah, I would say that's a good argument there for that to happen because Warner's just not taking a trip. Pat Cummins looks a bit sort of rusty. and he has been smashed for an almighty 6. The ball just sat on his left shoulder of Rohit Sharma, and he said, dismissed it with the greatest of ease. He's just clobbered it. Beautiful shot. Short ball, perfectly positioned, just poiked. Rohit Sharma just took it beautifully and went for the best looking 6. Magnificent shot. So 34 runs off 35 balls. Plenty. They're cruising to this victory, doing enormous damage on Australia's psychological. Oh, the ball didn't go quite right a minute ago. And the Australian psyche is disturbingly bad. 1 for 120. 1 for 120. Not even out of the first gear. England are 6 for 163. New Zealand 7 for 102. They're struggling. Almost hitting two runs of all. Namibia have got 20 off 19 balls. Getting a little bit close there. Chasing 164 for 4. They're 145 for 4. We're just over 3 overs to go. Good chance. Netherlands normally a bit of a powerhouse in cricket. Rohit Sharma is my favourite batsman, along with AB de Villiers in international cricket. I would agree with both of those players. Hardik Pandya's got his pads on. Another almost helicopter shot, lifted incredibly for 6 off Pat Cummins. He's hit for 2 sixes this over. Oh, nasty. 126 off 14.4. And they 27 off 32 balls. They got ample time. Pretty poor bowling by Pat Cummins. That was really shanked down the leg side there. Surya Kumaswamy, 26 off 17. Right, 60 off 40. Magnificent. Really cruising. 26 off 30 balls. Disgraceful. South Africa will regret not playing for, of course, FWC, Tahir. There's quite a few on that side that I think also Chris Morris, you would argue, should be well on form. So I invited you your show, Solomon Button. No, I haven't. Another 6. Another almighty 6. That was way too wide. Poor bowling, but becomes bowling too wide, thinking the batsman will miss. All he's doing is creating another ball, another run. Australia's bowling's been very. Hello, no, Mr. Trollface, is that what we're calling you? India only 26 off 30 deliveries. India 1 for 127. There's one of the wives there on screen. It's really cruise control for India. Absolute cruise control. Not even Australia's bowling's been bloody ordinary. Zampa's the only one I think right. Cummins is just too really fast, but he's pretty rudimentary. And then the other bowlers, when Stoinis is not fully fit, Mitch Marsh isn't doing anything great. Yeah, there's not much there, is there? Hazelwood looked okay in the IP off the CSK. So, Heinemann, your advice on my advice on India versus at the moment Australia's cruise control. Fabian missing working out best player. Okay. Was that Rohit Sharma got out, or where's he walking to? Was he going for a bit of a break? I think he's going. I think he's giving someone else a chance to bat. He's retiring, is he? Retiring on. Rohit wasn't out then, was he? Oh, there has been a wicket taken. Sorry. No, he's retired. He's not out. He's not. They're not two down for 120. They're one down. Rohit Sharma retired out for 60. It's not a second wicket fall, people. Please. $60 or 41. He looked pretty much. It's not a second wicket. It's not a wicket. Retired out is not. Why is there a W next to this? The ESPN Quick Info board is wrong. He's not wicket. It's not out. It's just one wicket down. Hardik Pandya going in there with not many runs to get. Mitchell Stark coming on for his second over extremely late in the innings. Retired hurt. He's not retired hurt. They've got him down here. Retired hurt and out. No, he's not retired out. He's retired. Not out. Oh my God, that he got onto that. He got onto that beautifully. He leant down to a Stark delivery, just clipped it before it landed on the full. Was it full? Certainly was full. 22 off 28 balls. Having batsmen retire it. Steve Smith being informed is a plus. Okay, Wade is an overrated play. Absolutely, he's absolutely disgraceful. Ashwin was really holding back during the IPL. He must have been. Anyway, he bowled pretty well so in this warm-up, but Steve Smith is okay. Warner, horrible. Wade, not even close to being in my side. There are a truckload of players. English should have walked in ahead of him. Big mistake. Matthew Wade is being held on way too long. He's been dropped as a test player and should not be playing the short format. He's no better at all playing the short format. He's just as diabolical. He doesn't bring any luck to the team as well. So many negatives for Matthew Wade that's not funny. Josh English, superb. The highlights I've seen for him, he looks superb. And young, upcoming, like in a Shankar, give him a go. Another peculiar looking scoop shot. India are not 2 for 132. They're 1 for 230, 1 for 132. Pandya, bit on the nose for me. Shouldn't be playing. He's just can't bowl. Alex Carey better than Wade. Yeah, Alex Carey better than Wade. Josh English is better than Wade. Everybody's better than Wade. Wade's had Tim Payne would be better playing than Wade. Over Wade, I'll tell you now. Pete now still off stump when the ball's down leg side. It's interesting. Very interesting. No, they're cruising. 21 runs off 26 balls. Absolute cruise mode. They probably don't want to make it too cruisy for themselves. They probably would like to be emphatic with their retreat. Bumrah looks rested. Shahidul Tagore didn't get any wickets, but he's still good. Yeah, all sleeping on Tim Payne. If not with the bat, he can at least run his mouth. He certainly can run his mouth. It's got him into no end of trouble. Filling error there at deep slip, I guess is what we call it. Fly slip almost. Absolutely a joke. This is not a warm-up match for Australia. They've been towelled up. India, it's a warm match. It's a warm-up, but way in front. Way in front. Hardik Pandya in his T20 career has not scored a 50. This is where Stark could get a bit of momentum by taking Hardik Pandya's wicket. They could throw them out a little bit, but the only thing it can do with any passion. We're getting a toss soon for the next match. And I forget, this is a warm match, I know. It's hard to fill the void left by Gilchrist. That's true. Very true. You cannot get better than him. But, you know, I mean, Josh Inglis looks good. Let's not forget, Josh Inglis looks really good. Wouldn't take him out of it, you know. Lovely setting for this ground. ICC Academy. And you need 19 or 24 balls. It's pretty ordinary. Even though it's warm, Australia should have done better than this. Ball's gotten through the filler there a bit. Oh, gee, that was close. Not sure what that was. Pretty sloppy fielding, to be honest, from Australia. You know, there's a bit of giggling going over there. They're playing better. Nolan Ali just honed his skills in CSK camp and is becoming a bit consistent. Give me the X factor of absence of the Stokes. Yeah, there's a lot of English players. Roy, Bairstow, Butler. There's a lot of them on that side. Hardy Pundy is not looking too bad with the bat, but he's got a bowl. He's not doing that, so that's a bit of a frustration for me. Absolutely is a frustration. Pat Cummins looks with his $9.5 million house that he's got here in Sydney. I'm sure the Indian boys can match that. $16 off 21 balls, so they've got 2.5 overs to score 16. Pandya, I'm not sure. This guy was trying something crazy that didn't quite work. You can be too funny with your shots. That was a strange shot. India winning both this warm-up convincingly, yes. Everything good with England except Owen Morgan's form. True, but they might be able to get away with it with that bad form if he can capture them all. And India's just cruising here. There are gaps everywhere. Gaps everywhere. They're cruising this total. And this wasn't exactly that bad a total 150 odd, but nothing's good enough for India. India could have probably knocked off 200 the way they look today. Incredibly good form. So just look a little bit out of sorts already. They're batting early on. The way Mitchell Stark, Aaron Finch, and Warner all ordinary scores. Yeah, 24th of October, which is 21st today, so 22nd is Thursday. Yeah, it's 24th of October. In fact, it's 1 a.m. 25th in Australia, but it'll be the 24th of October, correct? That's only 3 days away. That's going to be a massive game. Let's hope there are no strikes or no, abandonments or anything like that, rain or any other issues. It's going to be a huge match. And Pakistan will probably be beaten, but India, it'll be interesting. As long as Morgan's captaincy is good, all is good for England. That's true. Jadeja's got his pads on. Punt's got his pads on. Kishan's probably floating around there too. Coley's another one that has another bat. Kane Richardson doesn't look in great form either. Aaron Finch is generally a good captain, but he can't work with a team that's mentally broken before they even start. In such bad form. They're a bit too fancy, but they can afford to. This match will be well and truly over within seconds, and then we can move on to the next match in terms of prep, which is alive at Sri Lanka versus Ireland, but Afghanistan playing West Indies there. Afghanistan? Namibia first. Wow. Okay, so yes, it looks like yes. Namibia have won after 19 overs. They've knocked off the 164 that the Netherlands scored by getting for 166. I think there's a big shot. It looks like it's a 6 or a 4. It's a 4. Oh boy. 9 off 16. We're cruising. Namibia historic makes it ICC Namibia register their first ever T20 wicket at World Cup match. For the team, and it's streaky shot between things, but it's been a clinical win. Good stuff. And India are about to clinically beat Australia as well. It's a lovely shot. There's the gap. 8 off 2.5 overs. Awfully embarrassing here. They're not 2 for 145, they're 1. He's got a hold of that, but not quite where he likes it to go. There'll be at least 2. Not a good hit out for Australia. A bit of batting practice, but what a moment for the team. It's Jack Hole's streaky shot doing things, but it's been a clinical win. Good stuff. Now for PNG to create their own history. I can't be this. You should play Australia. That would be a contest. Row at 60 not out. Brilliant. Magnificent shot. Jesus, that was clobbered. That was absolutely smoked. And that's it. India have lost. Sorry, they've won, I should say, by 8. Well, they're saying 8 wickets. It's by 9 wickets. You can't say by 8 wickets. It's by 9 wickets. Since when is the batsman? Honey Punny took a shot. Since when is the batsman who's not out given out? Bizarre. India have absolutely smacked Australia. No other way to describe it. India have smacked cruise control, absolute and utter cruise control. Shocker. That's a shocking result. Yes, it's looking at this situation. It's been quite devastating, really. So India another IPL style win. Great confidence. There's no way that this can be taken lightly. This is about as emphatic as they want to get. Australia have been smashed. In no uncertain terms. I don't care if it's a war. This is terrible. India looking very dangerous. They are extremely dangerous. Extremely dangerous. Let's have a little quick look here. So, having said all that, though, India still have to keep this momentum going. They can't just, India. I have to use the word crush Australia. So just a phenomenal effort. Okay, sure, India don't soon. Just try. What do you think they should include Ashwin and Harwick in playing 11? Hardik, his batting, yes, it could be there for his batting, but it's his bowling which is the problem, not existent. And then as far as Ashwin is concerned, he did take the early wickets of Warner and the like today, and that looked particularly impressive, to be honest. Yeah, India are looking like Australia in the nose. I would agree with that. Why not all association teams cricket might be more joined like PMG? Well, they will be. They all want to be. It's just a matter of time. There'll be more and more going on. Let's have a look. So India crush. The saying is 253. It's only one. When a person retires, it doesn't mean that they're out. One for 153. Amazing. Okay. Ashwin can choke the middle orders. Yeah, he can. And he got the early wickets as well. So I think he's a worthy inclusion. I don't know about Hardik. I'm a bit ambivalent what's going on with him. Hey, Norman, what do you think today's second win with India over Australia? Unbelievable. How are you doing them? Good, Human. What do you think of Australian bowling today? Awful. Zampa was okay, but Agar was knocked out of the ground. Even Mitchell Marsh was shocking. Stark and Cummins looked pretty good too. Keen an eye on 90 in women's cricket as well as when it comes to this. Yeah, I will, very much so. Virat is doing a lot of practice, but still not able to call runs where he's lacking too much thinking of anything else. I agree. Need to hear a couple. It's just too much overthinking. Now, maybe I've won their match Islander play. It's just. So now maybe I've got a historic win. Yeah, it's been a impressive. The Netherlands are no slouch. It's a historic win. Unbelievable. At what number should Ishan Kishan play? It's a good look. KR Rahul and Rohit Sharma will open. Vera will probably go 4. Sky looks like he's going to go 3. Ishan should be 5. Punt 6. Oh my God, that's an enormous batting side. Enormous. So really, so Ireland versus Sri Lanka. England, of course, defeated. No, they haven't defeated yet. What's the story there? What's the story of that one? So England, New Zealand need 20 out of 11 balls. Not going to happen. New Zealand are way better than England, and Western Indies will win their particular division. Australia, South Africa, the rest, no hope. Other division, India are going to win that division with potentially either Pakistan or maybe a New Zealand. That's my thoughts. Congratulations. Namibia felt good. Can win that without batting. Yeah, exactly. India can win that. What? Congratulations, Namibia. Namibia felt good. Hardik on Netherlands. Okay. My 4 teams qualify: Sri Lanka, Ireland, Bangladesh, and Scotland. Yeah, it's pretty much mine, Super and John. Pitch is not that good to make matches interesting. Well, that's not true. Low scoring matches can be also very interesting. Netherlands as a downward spiral ever since their 18 tour event. Yeah, okay. Australia's positives out of this. Maybe Stoinis and Maxwell's batting, a bit of Smith, but the rest, no. Bowling wise, I would say only Zambo. How are you, Param? That was
I'm
clinical,
fine,
wasn't it?
Navan. How are you? Welcome back after a long time seeing you
It's
live.
not that long. I'm on every day. I'm just doing these. I'm doing a little live video. Not live.
From
So
seeing
that was.
you every day, if you don't see you for maybe 4 or 5 days, it becomes a long time.
No, I had fun today. I've had a fun day today. Now, Dave Warner. Oh my God, they made and the other mistake is Mitchell Marsh. I don't care if he's batted well in the previous matches. He's not a number 3 for Australia. He's not a number 3 for Australia. And they proved it today. Bang, bang, bang. 3 wickets down. Ashwin took wickets. I mean, Maxwell, very, very sound. Stoinis, good, both because of their IPL form. Steve Smith was good without being brilliant. But India, my God, Rohit Sharma.
Yeah,
60.
yeah. Biggest question is who will be the actual playing 11? Who will be the captain? No, obviously Virat Kohli, but who will be the 11 is a big thing. Hi Prabhanjan, hi Trollface, hi everyone. How are you doing?
What advice for Team India going into the real tournament? Well, we'll keep it up. Look, Rohit Sharma and KL Rahul are in the form of their life. They're in incredible form. Sky Kumar's slowly getting into form. Ishan Kishan's in magnificent form. Kohli's the only one that's probably out of form a little bit. Punt as well, but that's the team. Hardik Pandya can certainly hit a few sixes. We saw him just do that, but he doesn't bowl. He's a bit of a problem. They're gonna have Ashwin and Jadeja floating around as well. For sure, they're both going to play in these spin conditions. Ashwin and Jadeja are almost essential. Whether you have Chakravarti or Chahar as well, then you've got Bhuvi, you've got Bumrah, you've got oh my God, Shami. It's ridiculous amount of players. They all
Shami is also
deserve.
bowling very well. Very I saw his bowling in the last match, very difficult to score off.
Yeah. He's a bit like Owen Morgan at the moment, Kohli. The team's winning around him, but he's not doing well himself. But that maybe not the worst thing in the world, really. That's still a pretty good position to be in.
Correct.
So the Indian team just need to keep up what they're doing. Really, Rohit Sharma and KL Rahul, they absolutely tore apart Australia. It was embarrassing. I know that was a warm-up match, but Australia was smashed.
Yeah, even the way Rohit Sharma was playing Pat Cummins as if he was some club bowler or something, like where he was just. He looked very comfortable. Nowhere, not a single ball did I feel that Pat Cummins troubled him.
Well, I mean, the wickets are totally in favour of Indian batsmen. Indian batsmen should love these grounds. They're going to have a field day.
Yeah, but let's see how when the actual tournament starts, Norman.
But how weak was the Australian bowling lineup? How weak was that? Mitchell Starc was okay. Look, Pat Cummins looks very rusty.
But they did beat New Zealand, right, Norman?
Captain, obviously, Dhoni is the captain of the dugout, I would agree. A few years back, we wanted India to lose warm-up matches to clear sweep most matches in real games. Feels like it is good to win practice games. Bit skeptical. No, it's not. Rohit, this is Prabhajan saying. Rohit, KL, Virat, Sky, Ishan Pant, Sharla, Bumrah, Chahar, Sharma. That looks pretty good. You haven't got Jadeja in that squad. He's in there. Yeah, I would not risk Hardik Pandya if he can't bowl. Agree?
Who will you take, but Kishan or Pant?
Oh, they're both. Well, you have to have both of them, I'm afraid. Got to have both of them.
Kishan, he needs to be either batting, opening, or one down maximum. That's with Ishan Kishan. Doesn't make sense taking Ishan Kishan and putting him at number 5 or something like that.
Well, he's still a worthy number 5, I'll tell you.
But if you saw in the IPL at that position, he was not able to. He performs well either is when open or one down.
Yeah, this is a good point. Christian Moran says Varun is really a mystery bowler or just overtyped. I think slightly overhyped. Don't think he's that mystical.
I think the mystery bowler is a term which is just thrown about for spinners nowadays. Any new spinner comes on, they say mystery bowler, you know.
Yeah.
Like, and it takes a little time for the batsmen across the world to understand the action, understand the variations, and then like take for example Hazaranga, like when he started, like again he was a mystery bowler and difficult. There was another Sri Lankan spinner before that. Like initially he was like a threat, but then people understood and.
I guess you're only a mystery until people face you.
Yeah.
You won't know what they're like until. All right, so we're waiting on Ireland versus Sri Lanka. They haven't tossed it. So that's the thing. The past. Even Indian batters prefer bouncy fast tracks where ball comes on nicely. Spinners will have fun on these tracks for sure. Absolutely. But they got some of the best. I mean, Ashwin absolutely made a mess of, the early part of Australian batting lineup. My God.
Spinner, Jadeja, Ashwin, and Chahar.
and Chakravarti got enough. Look, the way that Mitchell Marsh played the ball and nicked it to first slip was amateurish. It was really very poor. Why go with punt if your playing 11 has Ishan and KL already? I'll fill that space with Jadeja if you ask me. I totally get that, but I just don't think they're going to get rid of a punt that easily for some reason. Ajanta Mendes was the person you'll think of. That's right. They've got something about punt. He's a bit like Colin. They're not going to drop him. India Windies are favourites. Look, we haven't seen the Windies. They're going to play Afghanistan next. That'll be interesting. And Ireland are playing Sri Lanka. Really, it's going to be, don't you think, Ireland and Sri Lanka should go through. Scotland looks like they're going to go through, probably with Bangladesh.
My bet still, Norman, like I'm still going with Sri Lanka, Namibia, and Bangladesh and Scotland. These are my 4 teams. I'm sticking with
you think Ireland won't go through?
Namibia will beat them.
Well, they're going to have to beat them. But Ireland are quite capable of beating Sri Lanka, to be honest, as well.
So let's see. But the next match, Oman versus which other team? Scotland. That's a qualifier. Whoever wins goes through. It's like that.
Well,
because
Scotland
for sure will beat Papua New Guinea.
So it's almost time for the toss with 25 minutes to go. I think it's well past the time of the toss. Ashwin's a good good choice. Whereas Ashwin, a good choice. It made okay. Ashwin will probably play. He'll play with advanced tech and analysis. Teams got an opposition can bowl really say mysterious they can't. That's why Abhishek. Yeah, there's no mystery unless you. It's a matter of face. Well, you got to face the bowler.
I would
You
say the
can't
data
just-
points, the number of matches that bowler wins, they get the data points. But with the advanced tech, that amount of time a bowler remains a mystery is shrinking day by day. That's how I would like to put it.
Yeah. So what happened with England New Zealand match?
And New Zealand came close with the last wicket partnership is going good. Huh?
New Zealand are all out for 150.
Yeah, but the last wicket took it in the end. Okay.
It's just.
But I'm very happy, Norman, with the side of Papua New Guinea. Huh? Means you look at all the other sides, they are basically a mixture of the top 8 countries. Like you see Oman, they are India, Pakistan. You see Netherlands, they are like England, South Africans. You see Namibia, same over there. But Papua New Guinea is a really like. So
They get a lot of help from Australia. They get a lot of help from Australia, and they deserve it. They're very positive, very willing to win. The problem with India is that they lose in the knockout matches, like semi-finals and finals. They're not going to lose this time. Lose to Johnson semi-final. India versus West Indies.
Prabhanjan is saying that's the thing what we are seeing under Kohli since last so many years.
Pakistan still do have the tag of winning from losing positions or losing from winning positions. Yeah, it's true. 24 October, be live full time. So I'm going to be live from 11:30 before the match, right through the whole match. Right, Brian, we're going to get just to get some Pakistan people in there as well. Elizabeth Johnson says semi-final India versus West Indies, Pakistan versus England. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think that's really quite likely to be the mix.
I would say Pakistan versus Australia.
No, Australia's. Look what happened just then. Australia was spanked, absolutely spanked. That was Australia's best side.
Norman, that's my prediction. Let's wait and watch.
India just played Australia as if they're playing bloody not Papua New Guinea, more like Vanuatu or something. They're playing Cook Islands of it. They killed Australia. Absolutely, that was
India
embarrassing.
Killed England also, Norman. India killed England also.
But what gets me is they claimed that India were 2 down. They were 1 down. Robert wasn't out. He walked off, retired. He wasn't out. So it's not a wicket. Don't flatter the score line for. Okay. On Sunday, there is India versus Pakistan, Man United versus Liverpool, and PSG match that is Kohli, Ronaldo, and Messi.
I think there is even a tennis match, if I'm not wrong. Tennis match and also Formula One. So a lot of things on Sunday.
Today, Rashid and Wood going home with good feeling. Well, Mark Wood we're talking about. Well, yeah, he must. What was the score? Let's have a look at the scoreboard. What was the scorecard? I didn't see this.
Today's Afghanistan was a West Indies, right?
Josh Butler got 73. Yeah, Afghanistan playing West Indies. My God, New Zealand bowled 3, 6, 8 of their players. And then Martin Guptill did well. He got 41 off 20 balls. That's pretty good. Tim Seifert didn't last one. Devon Conway did okay, but the rest fell. And looks like Mark Wood did bowl well. He got 4 for 23. And Adil Rashid got 3 wickets. They've absolutely cleaned up. This is a pretty piss poor effort by
Ireland versus Sri Lanka. The toss is not out yet.
they're probably throwing sticks. PNG is a strong team in rugby. Rugby league, they certainly are. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's ICC. The way India has played in this warm-up matches, my confidence in the team has gone up quite convincing. They have been. They've absolutely. Who did they play in the first game?
Pakistan.
No, they didn't. No, the first game of the warm-up.
Warm up. First game was against England.
And they won quite convincingly. And they beat Australia quite convincingly. Really,
Against England, I think it was some 180 something that they scored in with 1 over to spare.
Yeah.
And
the only danger for India is the smoky, like a West Indies or Pakistan coming out of the blue and doing something crazy.
See, I'm saying, what's the danger for me? India is like right now they're like everything is done by the opening, and if they lose 2 or 3 quick wickets, like that's where then this thing will open up. And I've seen that happening in the previous World Cups also. And when you come into that crucial matches, that's exactly what happens. We saw in the Champions Trophy, we saw the opening partnership does not, and then the whole team crumbles. So
it was we need to. Baramas, it's Aparna Saini's birthday today. Well, it was yesterday. Your time, it was Aparna Saini. That's her 25th birthday. Well, welcome her. Happy Mitchell Marsh's birthday as well. So, Kohli bowled today. So, do you see him bowling in the main matches? Actually, I do. Kohli will come in for an over here or there because he doesn't bowl often enough and can bowl pretty good line length.
Why is Kohli bowling? Because Hardik is not bowling.
Probably.
So they want to take Hardik, they will tell Kohli over a couple of hours. I don't know what is going on.
Oh, Hardik Pandya is they're shielding him, aren't they? They really are shielding him. All right, so no toss yet.
In his position, Norman, like who is another pinch hitter in India right now in his position? I don't know. None comes to my mind. Where
what do you mean?
Position that he bats at, number 5, number 6, and role as a pinch hitter. Who is another one that comes to your mind?
Say it again. The team that should be the Indian team. What are you talking about?
Who can replace Hardik Pandya? The
oh
other
my
names
God.
are Shardul, but
anyone. Ishan Kishan, Punt. Really, there's a whole. I mean, even Sky himself is the best lower in the order. They've got a truckload of them. Then you got people like Shardul Thakur who can. Shardul
You're
Thakur
talking a big change, you know. Surya Kumar Yadav is shown as his position as number 3 or number 4. You know
okay.
that
I would have
remove players from their position and put them somewhere else. That's
Shardul Thakur. Shardul Thakur. He's a great player
Shardul is not that. Like traditionally, what you've seen Hardik being that pinch hitter, I have till now not seen Shardul Thakur in that place exactly. Means if you are giving the batting,
I see him in that place. I mean, if you're going to really go on form, Rahul, Rohit, Sky. Okay, we'll leave Kohli there at 4. Ishan Kishan, Punt. Then you got either Jadeja or Shardul Thakur. Then you got Ashwin. Then you got perhaps Bumrah. With or without Shami, then you got either Chahar. They've got too many selections.
That's actually a problem when you want to.
It can be, yeah, it can be. No, I don't think his place is justified at all. I said, where do you see Wade batting? Oh God, out of the team in the park next door. Shardul and Chahar are quite good instead of Pandya. I agree.
What about your travel plans, Norman?
What?
What's your situation?
I don't think Steve Smith is a finisher. Ricky Ponting highlighted. I would agree. Steve Smith batted very soundly but didn't finish. So maximum Australian batters played unconventional shots. What's your take on that? Well, Kishan playing the 11. I think Kishan will definitely play in the 11. And Australia have to rely heavily on Maxwell and Stoinis. Really, they're the two. Warner's totally unreliable at the moment. So is Aaron Finch. Ashwin or Varun or Chahar in the final? That's a really hard question. I'm still leaning on Ashwin, maybe Chahar, but Varun, I'm not sure. Hardik's not in form. I agree. Most of the balls will be played by openers and 1 down, 2 down. So there's no need for Pandya whatsoever. Also, Shardul better for absolutely. Shardul Thakur didn't do well today, but he's definitely, in that mode, if you ask me. He looks very, very good. I like him a lot. Don't you agree?
I agree. I was asking, Norman, are you planning to travel to Dubai?
Okay. November 1st is the date that I'm allowed to go. I don't know whether I still have to quarantine or not. That may be waived because they've all changed. I think it's even changed in Dubai. So if I were to go November 1st or 2nd, I'd be there, even out of quarantine on the 8th. I'd still be there for the week of the semi-finals and finals, which would be perfect for me. I don't have to see the whole tournament. I'd like to be there for the last week. That's what I'm planning on, because we're allowed to leave Australia November 1st. They say. Fingers crossed.
My sister was telling me that going out, the tickets are reasonable, but the same ticket coming back it's like 4 to 5 times expensive.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, Hayden Watson. Yeah, why giving too much? Yeah, that's true. They can't depend on Maxwell, but Steiners is a good foil. As Maxwell engaged someone from India. Well, she's Indian. She's living in Australia. I don't think she's from India. Like, I don't think she was living in India when they met. I think she was in Australia. I think. Well, she's in Australia now anyway. There reports says Hardik may bowl after 1 week. Look, he's got to bowl for several weeks, not 1 week. That intermittent. Okay, that's true. I will meet you there, Norman, in the semi-final. I'll see you in Dubai. Okay, Hemant Rao. Nidhi Kapoor, why India giving too much importance to Hardik? We've repeated that already. Did Rohit shed all junk in his bat from the England series? Look, Rohit Sharma is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Parallels.
Very good to see him coming back to home.
Yeah. Oh. No, I think Kedarnath Pete Hardik has to do more than bat.
That's what irreplaceable
needs to be
from cricket. There should be a reasonable time given for a person to be in form, and especially you can't put a guy in a side and in a tournament of this stature and expect him to get in form during the tournament.
No. And I wonder about his brother Krunal. Did he make the side because of his brother? I don't know. I don't think he's really worthy of being in the side either. Did he get selected because of his brother? That's my thoughts, I'm afraid.
There was a patch where Krunal Pandya he was batting and bowling very well. So that's how he got selected, actually. I don't think it was...
yeah, but as quickly as he was in form, he's out of form.
Yeah, that was the problem.
Look, anyone who's got ability at cricket can be in the team for one match and do really, really well under all the hype. But if they can't be consistent, they're not worth being in the side. And you actually said it yourself about Punt. I have to agree. Punt needs to get his act together pretty quickly. He's in some severe danger of starting to. If Ishan Kishan gets some movement here, Hardik says no Stokes or Pollard. I have to agree. Stokes and Pollard bowl much better. Jadeja is the superior Krunal. Jadeja is better than Krunal for sure. But India will keep Pandya in this team, I guess. I'm going to say, is that bad?
No, it's the ad that's going on. You can say that it's not bad.
Mayuka.
Yeah, it means opportunity.
Mayuka.
Mauka.
Venkatesh Iyer is the future all-rounder.
It's a very viral ad run by Star Sports in which they show a Pakistani guy who, since India has never lost to Pakistan in the T20 World Cups and the ODI World Cups, so they have made this ad and it's very viral.
Okay. Virat went back in form, then bowls will be on fire. Yeah, I'm wanting him to get. He's overdue.
Don't for what?
Australia's horse started with a different set of players and Gabba Evans, different playing 11, so no one is irreplaceable. Correct? Don't. Pakistan is better than the T20s in India. Ooh, we'll wait and see on that one.
I would say it has to be a really, really good and lucky day for Pakistan for that to happen. That can happen. I'm not saying no, but it has to be a really good and lucky day where
yeah, they can
do
it.
All of the batsmen really fire and bowling also hits.
I wonder if the Australians have put out there. They may have put out a video for the post-match stuff. Let's have a look. They should have. They haven't though.
What's the toss? Who won the toss? Ireland win the toss and bowl.
Have they?
Yeah.
That's a pretty significant toss to win. I'm not convinced about Sri Lanka either. I'm really not convinced about them. That's it.
My son's toy exactly matches your shirt color, Norman.
What is it?
The angry Norman.
So Ireland won the toss and elected to bowl, not field. I'm sick of this.
Yeah.
They're saying it again. Anyone the toss and elected to bowl.
Bowl. So
not
that's
field.
Correct, that's correct, Norman. But both are.
Who writes these things?
I don't know why you so hula bulu about it.
Because it's wrong. I don't go, I want a field. No, you don't say that. You don't say, I want a field. You say you want a bowl. I would never say, I'm going to elect a field. No,
I've seen previously, like old matches that people say, I'll take the field. So I'll take the field.
Yeah, no, and bowl. That's better than Virat can bowl, yeah. Rankings say so. What is your India playing 11 for India-Pakistan match? Again, Jalaboy, I'm going to go through it again. Rohit and KL. Sky looks like he's 3. Kohli 4. Ishant 5. Punt 6. Then I would go Jadeja 7. Shardul 8. Ashwin 9. Bumrah 10. And 11 will probably be Shami, Bhuvi, or Chahar. One of those 3.
In your team, the only thing which I disagree with is if you're having Ishan Kishan, having a number 5 is my how can you say, is my point, because that's really not a position where he has been attractive.
All right, a couple of things with my news. Obviously, James Pattinson is now retired. That's a massive loss for Australia. He was a player that they really needed as a backup bowler. And without him now, with Pat Cummins, Hazelwood and Stark, they need a backup bowler. They've got some that are floating around, but James Pattinson's the next one in the queue. He's gone now. The other thing was around the article that says there's calls to boycott India versus Pakistan at World T20. There's been discussion about it. There's been a border. There might be some problems there. I hope bloody not. That would really annoy me. There was something else that I wanted to talk about too. There was some interesting stats. Did you see the stats about the lessons from the IPL? Did you see that? Lessons from the IPL. How will the UAE pitches play out for the World Cup, right? So the lessons from the IPL. What are the peculiarities of the 3 venues, and what should the teams do at each of them if they win the toss? So the Super 12s onwards, all the T20 World Cup matches are going to be played across 3 venues: Abu Dhabi, Dubai, and Sharjah, all in the UAE, no Oman. So there's some discussion. Let's just look at this, the first ground, Abu Dhabi, okay? What they say is that the venue that is most likely to witness high scores in the World Cup will be Abu Dhabi, okay? Even though Sharjah's got a shorter boundary, Abu Dhabi's pitches seem to have a better field, a quicker field. But because boundaries are the biggest amongst the 3 venues, the bowlers are also into play. There isn't much help for spinners. Here, the average 33 runs per wicket, while the Pacers bowl average 29. So they'll need pace bowls for Abu Dhabi. Okay? So the presence of a lot of dew in the evening means that the afternoon games could be very different to the evening games here in terms of the way they play out. There have been several instances of dew in Abu Dhabi, making it easier for teams to chase down high totals at night. Australia and West Indies play 2 games here, while Afghanistan played 3, out of which 2 are in the afternoon. Given the conditions, there doesn't seem to be any major advantage for any team playing here. So Abu Dhabi's described that way. Okay? So Dubai. Do you agree with that? I think it's a pretty good summation. Dubai. The pitches in Dubai have not changed much over the last couple of years. Some pitches have been slow, with a few have helped paces. The average score has been in the range of 150 to 160 over the last 2 seasons of the IPL. The seamers have been more successful here, conceding 20 to 27 runs per wicket compared to 32 for the spinners. So what it's telling you, Abu Dhabi and even Dubai are not necessarily spin friendly.
Only Sharjah. See, but the point is, Norman, till the matches don't actually start, we cannot say 100%. Why? I'll tell you. Because last year IPL, you see how Sharjah was the highest scoring ground, and this year's IPL, it was the lowest scoring ground. So it was just a change. So we don't know how this new pitch, and these pitches are something that they've kept completely separate. So we can't say that go by what happened in the IPL and say for 100% that will happen. Till we don't have at least 2 or 3 matches, it will be difficult to say.
No, it's true. But I think there's a good point, though. Let me read on a bit more about this. So teams will likely look to play 3 fast bowlers in Dubai, including at least one with extreme pace if they have the luxury of having one in the squad. So that will favour Australia somewhat. And India, of course. Another factor is that makes a difference in Dubai is the location of the pitch. The pitches on the edge of the square have the short boundaries on one side, making it a tactical battle for batters and bowlers. Most of the strategies in Dubai revolve around having a left-right pair at the crease to target the specific boundary, while the bowling teams need to figure out the right end for the spinners to bowl from. India is scheduled to play 4 matches in Dubai, which is a big favour for Dubai, for them, and their players could benefit from the familiarity of playing here during the IPL. Depending on the pitch, they have multiple choices in their squad to leverage what could be a good batting and pace bowling conditions. So that's going to favour probably India as well. You may not see Ashwin and Jadeja play together in that particular ground.
Correct.
But okay, Sharjah. Okay. The pitches in Sharjah were relayed just before the UAE leg of the IPL. So they're very fresh. And the venue was no longer the batting paradise of the past. In 2020 edition, teams hit a 6 every 12 balls, but in 21, the number was 23. That's a big difference, isn't it? In all, only 98 sixes were hit in the 10 IPL matches in 21. On these slow pitches, the bowlers who varied their pace had more success. And while seamers and spinners registered similar economy rates of 6.92 and 6.79 respectively, the pace bowlers had better strike rates, taking a wicket every 17 balls compared to 22. So really, it's not spelling a spin-friendly wicket as much as you might think. Slow ball, pace off the ball, or good fast bowling. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. Interesting. It's not spelling as much, but good spin bowling, good slow spin bowling will work on a UAE pitch like a Ashwin. You'd have to think.
And I would say not just spin bowling. There are certain type of spinners who are actually difficult to hit. Like Rahul Char is one of them. Chakravarti is one of them. Where the moment you go to hit them or you try to score a batsman, see if you're defending or just trying to nick them around, it's okay. But the moment you try to hit them, even Jadeja is sometimes become. That's when you start losing your wicket. You miss the ball, it hits on the stumps or top edges. You get it caught out. So these bowlers are really going on well over there.
Ashwin is bowled with more variation from fingers. He does. Okay, that's an interesting point. You can't put Ishan Kishan as an opener. We've got Rahul and Rohit. Maybe you can put Ishan Kishan as a first drop. But Sky did okay today, didn't he? He did okay today. Sky did okay today. So.
Maybe, yeah, I will put Ishan as number 1 drop, then get in Kohli and then Surya Kumar Yadav. I don't know that, but putting Ishan at number 5 would not make sense.
Okay, but where are they going to put him then?
Whom? One down. Yeah, one down.
I mean, Sky could bat down the order, couldn't he?
Sky can, but that's what I'm saying. In fact, biggest question mark, honestly, is Virat Kohli's batting right now in the team. That's creating.
Absolutely. Where do you put Virat Kohli?
Virat Kohli, the team becomes more stronger. Sorry to say that, Norman, but That's the reality based on the current form.
But look, as far as I'm concerned, it's going to be an India versus England final, and both of their captains are out of form. Morgan and Kohli both out of form. So that's probably one of the significant aspects of that, really.
For me, I don't think England will qualify from the group stage.
I don't know why you're saying that. They've just knocked over New Zealand and the like very easily. No, I don't know how you could say. Why would you say that?
I don't know, some instincts.
You've got something against England. I deservedly it should be England versus India. They're the best two T20 teams in the world at the moment on form. And Owen Morgan said something very interesting in his media conference. He said this time around, a team can't come out of the blue so easily and win the tournament because there are a lot more games against each other, and you're less likely to squeeze through on the basis of a couple of good games. Okay, so that means that
the critical part would be once you qualify the last two matches. Wow.
Yeah.
You make sure you play to win the World Cup. The last two matches. That's the critical part, and that's where actually India has been faltering over the last many years.
Yeah, I mean, but India are going to play they're probably going to play the West Indies or a Pakistan or a New Zealand, and they're probably going to beat all three of those sides. Okay. In the case of England, they will play. Who will they play? They'll play either.
I'll take that back. I'll take that back. India or New Zealand.
England have to play. Sorry, India have to play West Indies. It's going to be that way because West Indies will fall number 2. Okay, and India should win that. England are going to play. Pakistan or New Zealand. So really, it's India's only got to face the second best side in the other group, and that won't be England. It'll probably be the West Indies. So that's the difficult match for India. If India can get through that, they're going to win the whole thing. Simple. Because England will probably win through on their side. That's what's likely to happen.
South Africa is also. When is the Pakistan-South Africa match? Is it today or is it tomorrow?
No, Pakistan. I think actually it might be today. Actually, too. That's a warm-up match, though, isn't it?
It's already over.
No, it's also being played. It must be played. Afghanistan playing the West
South Africa won the toss and decided to bowl.
Yeah. But Afghanistan are also they chose to bat as well.
So many matches going on. Afghanistan, West Indies, Pak, South Africa. Then what? Sri Lanka, Ireland. The Sri Lanka Island is the official one. That's
same one really counts the rest. I mean, South Africa versus Pakistan, you would think that Pakistan will win that. That's going to be interesting, actually. Pakistan versus South Africa, because they won't play each other again. They won't be playing each other in the group stages. Afghanistan, we haven't talked about Afghanistan at all, Baram. Have they got a chance? You never know. You just don't know, do you? You just don't know how they're going to go.
From the group, definitely, I don't think, because they are in the group with India. So India, Pakistan, Afghanistan. My pick still remains. I still stick with my pick. It is India, New Zealand from here, Australia, West Indies from there.
All right. So what game are we going to watch? Let's just have a recap. Netherlands were defeated by Namibia by 6 wickets. England smashed New Zealand. India crunched Australia. Ireland are playing Sri Lanka, which is a true qualifier. Pakistan versus South Africa. I think Pakistan's going to win that. Afghanistan versus West Indies. You would think West Indies would win that. So really, the game that's of most significance then in the scheme of things is probably the Pakistan-South Africa match, but Sri Lanka versus Ireland, they'll probably both go through, I still think.
You're very articulate, Norman. For you're coming up with a different verb every time. Crunched, smashed.
Well, Well, India absolutely cruised against Australia. That was not even a game. That was, and I'm annoyed they keep running 2 for 153. It was 1 for 153. Rowett didn't get
No,
out.
but it shows. I think it shows that India won by 9 wickets.
No, I was saying 8 wickets.
I don't know. I saw India won by
If
9 wickets.
a man retires, he's not out.
Somewhere I think a news popped up. It says India won by 9 wickets. That's what it says.
He's not out. He can't be out. He can't be out.
Yeah, it's
So this okay. Ashwin, Sumanth Shastri is right. There is some new techniques coming from Ashwin. He is trying some new things. What's more beneficial in T20 bowling? What's more beneficial in T20? Batting all-rounders or bowling all-rounders? I think batting all-rounders. What do you think, Brian?
it depends again on the. Yeah,
There's nothing
batting
depends.
makes more sense because bowling anyway you will have your strength covered up.
What do you mean? I think it's batting all-rounders are more worth.
Yeah, batting.
really.
That's what I'm saying the same.
Yeah. Virat's creating positional difficulty. He is not in form. Yeah, it's true because Virat maybe shouldn't be batting 4. Maybe Sky, followed by Ishan Kishan. Then Kohli.
I'm still putting the point, Norman, that actually without Kohli the team you can have a stronger team given the current form and situation.
That's a very interesting point. But it's the same with Owen Morgan. Are you going to drop Owen Morgan now?
See, in case of England, Ian Morgan, who else can be the captain? In case of India, there is a very big, strong Rohit Sharma. In case of England, who's the leader? Do you think that, let's say, if they drop Ian Morgan, he can step up for the team? There's a big difference, Roman, over there.
It's interesting how they, out of all the warm-up matches in Australia, Fox covered the Australia versus India match.
In fact, on Fox, I was watching the Namibia match that was going on.
Yeah, they have to. That's a game they have to cover. That they haven't got any choice. They have to cover that match.
Sri Lanka already lost a wicket.
Have they? Ireland are not bad. Don't discount Ireland. I'll tell you right now.
Pereira out.
Colson Pereira is overrated. He's not overrated. He's a good player. But Morgan is better than Butler as captain. True. Ishan Kishan must play at number 3. What's your opinion? Look, they seem to favour Sky for some reason. They seem to favour Hardik. But Ishan Kishan must get in there. Pakistan Zindabad. Okay. Norman, what's your top 3 team prediction? Who can win the ICC title this year? Judge, I've talked about it all along. India and England, for sure. West Indies is my 3rd. They're my top 3. Not sure why India didn't play Kohli today as a batter. He's not in the best of form and could have worked on his innings in the middle order. What do you think? I agree. He needs to be in the middle. Yeah, winning the Test series in England and India, Ireland is not easy. I agree with that. Ireland's a tough. Ireland's not a bad bloody side. They got a lot of ability. The old Ireland.
They played Test matches also, right, Norman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They beat England. I'm pretty sure they beat them.
So currently we have 10 Test playing nations. Zimbabwe is not. Zimbabwe is also playing Test here.
Yeah. We've got more than 10. I think it's 12. Or more than that, actually. Australia, England, New Zealand, South Africa, West Indies, India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. Zimbabwe's 10. Ireland, Afghanistan.
12 Test playing.
Did I said Zimbabwe, didn't I? Yeah.
So the Afghanistan Australia Test, is it going through? Like, what's happening?
No, well, there's been no word on it. There's been no update, but it's only if they relinquish on the female cricket side of things, which they're not going to do that. So
They are allowing them to play, right, Norman? What I understand that they have kept separate stadiums and so they are allowing them to play. It's not that they have
women. They've been chased out of the country, haven't they?
The football team I know is in isolation, but for the cricket, they have kept a separate stadium and the women are playing there.
Oh, no. Why would they isolate the women's first team? I don't get that.
The football team is scared. It's like they are saying something, but the football team is scared and they are somewhere in Poland or some country over there. But the cricket team, I know they are in.
What's the Afghanistan women's team doing in Poland? For God's sake.
They are
why are they in Poland? Why would you go to Poland?
The football team, they are in exile over there.
Poland don't play cricket, I don't think. And they certainly don't have any security.
Not cricket, football. The football. Afghanistan football team, women's football team.
What about Sher Bangla? What about Sher Bangla? You mean Sri Bangla, the stadium in Bangladesh?
Maybe the country, Bangladesh. What are Bangladesh's chances of winning the World Cup?
Based on their form at home, they beat Australia and was it New Zealand? They did very, very well, but they haven't played well so far in the World Cup, have they? They've played pretty poorly, and they need to win, otherwise they could not make. They may not qualify, which would be disastrous. Be an absolute disaster. They didn't get through, for God's sake. Sri Lanka have lost another wicket. They're 2 wickets down.
Oh my God.
That's big. England says, what spinners do you think India will go with? Ashwin, Jadeja, yes, both of those. It's so Chahar and Varun Chakravarti. I don't think Chakravarti will play every game, and nor will Rahul Chahar. I think, and they needed Chahal, but he's not there either. So Ashwin Jadeja is going to be their main diet of bowlers, I think. Who do you think will play in the final for? Who do you think will play in the final?
Final, I can't say no. Semi-finals, I told you. My teams are in India, New Zealand, Australia, and West Indies.
No, I'm talking about spin bowlers.
Oh, the final 11 you're talking about?
For India, yes.
I think depends on which ground they are playing. If it's Sharjah, then they might go for 3 spinners, where I feel they will play Jadeja, Ashwin.
They're going to play. They're not going to play the final in Sharjah. They're going to play the final in Dubai. That's for sure.
You're talking about the India final playing 11, or you're talking
I'm
about
talking about the Indian team.
Okay.
Where are they going to play? Where are they going to play their
But I think India is playing almost all the matches in Dubai, right? If I'm not wrong, majority of India matches are in Dubai. Maybe the reason Dubai is the biggest stadium over there, capacity wise.
No, but the Dubai is where the final will be played. That's what I'm saying. So there'll be no other location.
Two spinners, I think. Jadeja.
Yeah, they won't go with 3.
I don't think Ashwin will make the tick.
He bowled well today, didn't he? Don't you think he bowled well
DB29
today?
is a very nice comment. Norman, DB29 is a very nice comment.
What's that? Okay. It's
from
funny
DB20.
because India groomed Chahal and Kuldeep after they knew Jadeja and Ashwin won't be there in limited go to the spinners. Now both Chahal and Kuldeep aren't there. Chahal deserved to be there, I would say. Kuldeep's been off the rails. India don't know, like I said, Norman, on paper, who is strong between India versus Pakistan? On paper, it has to be India. On paper, it's definitely India.
On paper,
but in the reality of the match, we just don't know, do we? We just don't know.
I'm telling you, like, Pak to win, they have to have a really lucky day where at least 2 of their batsmen click very good and even the bowlers click.
It doesn't mean they can't do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying they can't. It's a no, but it has to be a very lucky day. Like what happened in the Champions Trophy final. Something of that sort.
Oh, for sure. A friend of mine, his daughter's is now a bit of a singer. Okay, so on paper, is India for sure one of the best teams, but it's the pressure that comes to batting the order, knockout matches. You're right. Pakistan can pull off a miracle on the day. We have to understand that. They are capable of it. They've done it. What was that memorable match? Was it 2000 and what year was it? Well, they won. They beat India. They ended up winning the whole thing.
2017. They beat India in the finals. That was the Champions Trophy. Finals Champions Trophy.
That was magnificent. Now, what's your top three champions who can win it? So I said it before, Judge Abori. I said India, then England, then West Indies. They're my top three. And maybe Pakistan 4. But the rest, New Zealand are not looking good at all, I'm afraid. New Zealand, despite having great IPL individual players, Milne and Lockie Ferguson and Southey and you name it, they're all good. Weren't they?
Correct. Norman, I'll take your leave now.
Oh, you take a leave. We've still got a lot of people watching. We've had about 1,000 so far, so that's been good.
Yeah, they're excited to see you back.
Well, Bram, India versus Pakistan's a big one. We'll see how we go with that.
Yeah.
This match between Sri Lanka and Ireland's important for both of them. So this is very good. Lost in finals, battle collapse. All right, you take care. Bram.
Yeah, I just
say
bye-bye. Say bye-bye.
What?
Say bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
How are you?
Say hello.
Hello,
everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Wave again.
We'll say hi.
Hi.
Very good.
Okay.
Very, very nice. All right.
You, Norman. Catch you. Bye-bye.
Right, talk to you soon. We're the same colours.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, ciao. Yeah, so look, India, if they can handle the pressure, will win this World Cup. India and the West Indies, India and let's just say Pakistan first and second, England and West Indies. That means England will play Pakistan and India will play West Indies. India will go through, England will go through. That's with West Indies stirring the pot. They're the four. Australia, again, after a full strength side, smashed by India. Absolutely smashed. New Zealand, very ordinary against England. England, certainties, I think. South Africa, mixed, but they won't get through. Australia, very poor, they won't get through. New Zealand, I think, will get through. Pakistan, on form, they can make a fist of it. And clearly, with the depth of the West Indian squad, you'd have to think West Indies would also be. West Indies are strong but aren't consistent, but they don't have to be strong and consistent enough to get through the semi-final and play out of the skin. They beat India and played England last final. And what was his name again? Remember the name. Great playing. Really, really good playing. So should not be overhyped with India-Pakistan match. It's another game of cricket. It is, but it's fun. It's good to have a bit of rivalry. Why not? Let's not take away. Should not be over. I think it deserves a bit of fun. It's been a wonderful, So guys, if you're coming on the channel, you should be subscribing. Kate enough, P. Not fair to judge Kohli based on IPL form. Well, we had a 400-run season only once in the past 5 seasons, but when it comes to international cricket, it's a completely different picture. Yeah, but Rowett's been particularly good. His Test cricket's been fantastic. So is KL Rahul's, and they're putting that into the shorter formats as well. Carlos Braithwaite, that's it. How can I forget that? Remember the name. I forgot the name. Carlos Braithwaite, who I actually met, and is a very nice, gentle giant, to be honest. Very nice, gentle giant. Yes. Yeah, I can understand, Keno, what you're talking about there. I do get that point. I do understand that. But you can't begrudgingly not see what the the likes of this is. We're going to be talking every day, guys. Let's get together, talk about this regularly. the panning out of these football matches. Sri Lanka's 3 for 10. Ooh, Sri Lanka 3 for 10. This is not good. Pakistan 1 for 30 after 4. They're going quite well. Afghanistan, none for 41 after. Oh, Afghanistan, none for 41 after 3.2 overs. Afghanistan, none for 41 after 3.2. That's a pretty good effort against West. See, no one's talking about Afghanistan. No one's talking about Afghanistan. Before switching, please say who will win the India-Pakistan match. India, I'm afraid, will win it. On paper, you'd have to say that. Just need old Coley back when they found out easy gaps during overs. Maybe he's just trying to hard on us. Please give neutral answers where he's strong on paper. India, it is a neutral answer. On paper, India is strong on paper. You have to say that. Pakistan's got some great players, some great bowling. Actually, the bowling is very good. But India are definitely slightly better, Jojo Boy. I'm not being biased by any means. It's just true. You have to agree with it. You can't not say that's the case. Okay, so that's without a doubt, that's what we have to expect, guys. And I expect you viewers to be here regularly. And it's good to see you here. I'm going to be there on every day now. I think it's time I go every day. And it's been a certain advantage of going every day. Again, with what's happened today, let's have a look at this. We've got India have smacked, crushed, bashed Australia. Then you have Namibia pulling off a miracle to beat Netherlands. Pakistan's pretty solid against South Africa. Afghanistan's very solid against West Indies. England crushed New Zealand. It's not looking very good in the general. You're going to stay tuned for the. We're going to be live throughout the whole match. Question for you: your prediction for qualifying between the groups A and B. Scotland definitely are going through. You would think Sri Lanka, despite falling off a bit here, will go through. Ireland will probably be the third. So Scotland, Ireland, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh probably will just get through. They're not doing well. Oman's doing well as well. Certainly, it's going to be interesting to see what happens, actually. The word choke shouldn't be used for India. India do not choke. I don't agree with that at all. Am I in WA, Stolen by Live? No, I'm in Sydney, Coogee Beach, Coogee that is, Sydney, Australia, on the East Coast. Yes, Bhavanash Pandey, and he did win convincingly. And they're not 2 for 153, they're 1 for 153. Robert retired. He wasn't out. Annoys me for saying that. Very annoying. So around about it's the start of the match. Okay. Very impressive indeed. So Afghanistan after 4 overs of none for 43. Very impressive. Pakistan on 1 for 32 after 5. Sri Lanka 3 for 13 after almost 4. It's awful. Hardik Pandya couldn't hit the middle, and we know he's struggling. He certainly is. Is there any update on Livingston? He had a finger injury, but he's fine. Hi, on when is the India Australian warm-up match today? It's already, Dr. Ramashan, right? It's already finished. Already finished. It's already finished. Australia were 5 for 152 with Warner out for, I think, a 1 or a duck. You had Aaron Finch out for a handful. Mitchell Marsh out first ball. Then you had some strength from Maxwell, who got 37, 57 from Steve Smith, and 41 from Steiners. And they were 5 for 152 after their 20 overs. But India cruised, only losing 1 real wicket where KL Rahul skied the ball. And they didn't even get into the didn't even finish the 17th over. They got 1 for 153. Rohit Sharma retired. And they're saying was not out. Australia's also playing very good. I think Australia will top. No. Bhavanash Pandey, don't agree with you at all. I don't think that's going to happen. Nope. I think we're far from seeing that happen. I think we're going to be. Yeah. So Sri Lanka 3 for 17 off 4. Australia having been smashed by India. India won by 9 wickets effectively. Pakistan, I'm trying to put out the Pakistan score. 1 for 36 after 5.3. Afghanistan, none for 49 after 4.4. Okay. India, Pakistan, but Himanshu Sharma, I'm still sticking with India on paper, should beat Pakistan. It'll be to Pakistan's advantage if they win, of course, but no, India's going to win that. India will be probably unbeatable, as in, throughout the whole tournament, I would say there'll be very little hope of that happening. Very good numbers, guys. Very, very good numbers. We've got to be able to keep this up, guys. I'll come on every night if you stick to these numbers. It's almost 1:30 in the morning. View, like, and share the posts. Hit subscribe. Subscribe to my Eyes on Cricket with Norman Kochnick YouTube channel, my Twitter and Instagram handles, and hit the bell, the notification bell, please. I was get up to this certain number. So Pakistan lost the second wicket. They're 2 for 36 after 5.4 overs. Afghanistan, none for 53 after 5. Whew. My opinion, this is Dr. Ramachan, right? My opinion is that with these new muscle and big hitters in the side, Hardik Pandya looks like a bit weak down the order. Hope he puts on some muscle in the gym. He probably does need to. Bhavanash Pandey. India here, all people get intense while India versus Australia matches, because many times Australia beat India in knockout matches. Very good team, Australia, but not this time. Not this time. India cruised to the victory. Cruised indeed. They went really, really well. I was very happy. It's good to see you all, guys. See you all back again. We certainly are getting some numbers through today. Back to the live shows that I used to remember having. I had plenty of them. Really, really good guys. Very impressed to have you all there. All right. So Afghanistan, none for 53 off 5.1 overs. Pakistan, 2 for 36 up to 5.5. Netherlands, as we said, were beaten by Namibia. India absolutely thumped Australia. And Sri Lanka struggling at 3 for 26 off almost 5 overs. My playing 11 for India. Okay, well, tell us, Bill, that's your playing 11. Tell us your 11. We'll dissect it. Tell us, right, I want to hear your playing 11s for the Indian, which is only, what, a bit over 2 days or so away. Not far away at all, guys. Not far away at all. That's the one. Okay, so Bhavanash Pandey says, KL Rahul with Rohit Sharma, agree. Virat Kohli at 3, probably not. It'll probably be a Sky. Ishan Kishan, maybe. Virat Kohli, Pant, Hardik, Pandya, Ravindra Jadeja. All right, that's not the whole side. But yeah, I agree with most of it. But Hardik Pandya is not a certainty for me at this stage. I'm not certain. Hardik Pandya's got to do a bit more with his bowling and quickly. Just getting a drink, guys. Just give me a sec. Just keep talking. Yeah, Hardik Pandya is not in my side at the moment. He needs to do a lot of work before he can be certain of this. His batting was okay today, but he's got a bowl. And he's going to be in that side, in that position. Otherwise, Shardul Thakur should be in the side. Shardul Thakur deserves a bird. Okay. Mohammad Shami, Jasprit Bumrah, Ashwin, Bhuvish. I would say that's probably a fair guide. Yeah, I agree with that. Very strong. Very, very strong side. Ashki 3465. You're on you. How are you? Do you think Indian batting is deep enough as compared to other top teams? Yes. England's strong too. So is West Indies on the day. Absolutely. But yes, India is certainly strong. The key to India is their upper order batsmen can bat very long. Very, very long. So Shubham Sinha's level. Rahul, Rawat, Virat, Sky, Kishan Pant, Thakur, Ashwin, Jadeja, Bhuvi, Bumrah. That to me is the best side. That is my best side. I would argue it's my best. Shami is probably the only one that I would probably think about putting in there. But that's my best side. I would say that's probably where the side will probably sit. Yep, I would agree with that side. That's my 11 for sure. Again, KL Rahul, Rohit Sharma. Let's say Sky, then Virat, Kishan Pant, Thakur, Ashwin, Jadeja, Bhuvi, Bumrah. They bat all the way down to number 10. They bat all the way to number 10 in that side. And even Bumrah can have a bit of a hit. That's an incredibly strong side. They can bat to 10. I'd argue it's my best side. I wouldn't have Hardik Pandya in there. No, I agree with that. Absolutely agree with that. Absolutely agree with that side. Yeah, Shami may replace Bhuvi. That could be the case. But other than that, that's my 11. I would not have Hardik Pandya in there, even though he's worthy for his batting, but not his bowling. Not his bowling. Well, he doesn't bowl. We don't really know how it could be at all the case for his bowling. Well, plenty of videos, guys, you can have a look at. Not just the one that we're doing live here. Plenty. So we look at that. We've got, since the games have started, we'll go through a bit of a recap of the scores in it. Sri Lanka at 3 for 43 after 5.5. They've lost 3 wickets. They've recovered a little bit. Obviously, Australia were thumped by India. Yeah. But I guess Hardik will play against Pakistan, though. I will go with Shardul Thakur against Pakistan. Okay. You're going to need to make sure they get a sufficient amount of bowlers in their side. That's the main crux of it. It's their bowling department, which they need to be wary of. That's where the strength needs to come from. That's where they probably do lack a little bit. Yeah, Owen Morgan's very confident, and so he should be. I think Thakur should have been given the same batting practice in these two. Well, you can't bat him if they don't lose enough wickets. You can't drop him in that case. So again, Namibia beat Netherlands. Pakistan are now 2 for 42 of the 7 overs against South Africa. Then Afghanistan, none for 64 for 6.3 overs. They're heading for a pretty good total. And they're also, England have smashed New Zealand. So there's interesting matches going on as we speak. Very, very interesting. This particular live is doing very well too. So we might think about leaving it soon, guys. But Afghanistan are certainly proving their mettle. None for 64, for God's sake. That's pretty damn good. Just trying to see what the story is there. This certainly. England haven't sent me updates either, I don't think. It has been a very, very impressive day. Well done, Uncle Luggy. I think there should have been given some. In which group do you think Bangladesh will go to? They're probably going to be second in their group behind Scotland. So they'll be the second team in. They'll go to, how does it work? I think they'll go to the England group, which is Group 1 or Group A. That's what I think. Very good numbers, guys. Yeah, Bangladesh are probably going to be second in the group. Scotland seems to be well and truly on top of that group. The other group has Sri Lanka in it. Even though Sri Lanka are not doing very well at the moment, they're probably going to win that match. Even they're 3 for 51 now after 6 points, where they picked it up somewhat. Let's go through the scores. So India crushed Australia. Namibia had an exciting win over Netherlands. Pakistan 2 for 49 against South Africa and looked in pretty much control. Afghanistan, none for 70 off 7 overs against West Indies. West Indies not bowling that well. And England thumped New Zealand. So there you go. But the one that interests me most is Afghanistan, none for 70 off 7. It's a pretty good score rate. It looks like they're heading for 200 the way they're going. So that's pretty impressive. What's your squad for Australia? You mean the team? Well, currently Dave Warner's in shocking form. But they're probably not going to do much in terms of change that, I think, before they get to the final. So you're probably going to see not any different than what we're seeing here. Aaron Finch with Warner. First drop will probably be, Mitchell Marsh is who they want to use at this point. Then Smith, Maxwell. So Warner, Finch, Mitchell Marsh, let's say Steve Smith, Maxwell, Stoinis is 6. And they've got Agar, and they've got 8, they've got 6, and they've got 7 Agar, 8 is Zampa, 9 is a Stark, 10 is a Cummings, 11 will be a Hazelwood, probably. Unless they put Kane Williamson there, but I think Hazelwood's going to get a Guernsey. That's the 11 that I can see. Nick Hill. The other group will have England, Australia, South Africa, West Indies, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh. All the 4 members will be in that group, intense competition. So you're saying that Sri Lanka and Bangladesh will both finish second, and Scotland and Ireland will finish first. Is that what you're saying? I'm not sure that's what you're saying, but if that is the case, England's going to top that pool, and the West Indies will come out second. I don't want Australia, South Africa. Not only do I not want them, they don't deserve it. No brainer. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Group A will have a lot more competition if Bangladesh goes into that team too. Sri Lanka first in one group, Bangladesh second in the other. Bangladesh second in the other. Yeah, they probably are going to be second. Sri Lanka may not be 1 though. Sri Lanka may be 2. Because it looks as Scotland's going to win that group. Why no Chris Lynn for Abhishek? I don't know. I totally gobsmacked. I think he's one of the best one-day players I've ever seen. Hit 6s come out of his ears. 6s further than anyone else I've ever seen, and can match it with anyone. He should be in the squad. So I don't know why he's not. Shubman, Singer, Surya, Kumar is a good, but I think that 4th place is Avishan is top, and Mohammed Shami is in very good. Yeah, Shami, I can agree with him being one of the ones, and definitely Shankar Shan. Sky, I'm not convinced. Tommy did okay today. I'm not convinced Tommy did okay today too. So Yeah, that's my thoughts. Wonderful, guys. Wonderful session tonight. I'll give you another update on the score, shall I? Okay, so Sri Lanka 3 for 56 after 7. They've got some sort of improvement going on there, and they still could do okay because they've got a bowl too. India thumped Australia. Namibia had an exciting win over Netherlands. Pakistan 2 for 52 after 8.3 overs against South Africa. Bangladesh, yeah, but if the situation so Ishaq will come up. Yeah. Afghanistan, none for 78 after 74. 7.4. Wow, they're doing really well. 79 over 7.5. They're fast 8 off 8. That's 10 and over. Magnificent batting. Jeez. Absolutely magnificent batting. Keep watching, guys. I'll be on tomorrow, which is going to be, and the day after, then we get into the real stuff. Afghanistan. Well, are they none for 80 off 8? Brilliant. The best batting performance so far, really, of any team. And they're playing West Indies, which is one of the top 3, as I said earlier. So that's not looking very good there at all. Three, 4, and one more. Afghanistan, none for 83 off 8. I'm going to put that down. It's quite incredible. Let's have a look here. What was I trying to put up? Yeah, Foxtel had this last night too. Magnificent. So what am I after here? Yeah, so let me look. So what do you big confusion between Ishan or Surya and Shardul? Yeah, I'd agree. I think that Ishan should be in and Shardul should be in. What do you think about any of those Pax partners? Who's going to win? Shubham Singh, on paper, I'm thinking India. Makul Pakistan will never get Makul a chance. Yeah, well, exactly. Chance to defeat India. I'm looking for Norman's views. I still think India, on paper, are going to be winners. You have to think that they're one of the top nations at the moment. You have to agree that that's the case. Pakistan are smoking and can still do well. Afghanistan are none for 90 after 8.2. None for 90 after 8.2. What is going on here? It's a magnificent batting from Afghanistan. Wow. There's a side that could really surprise. Really surprise. Let's, guys, view, like, and share. I'm thirsty though for some reason. Very thirsty. Have to get some more drinks. I had Baramba on out early. Do I like the Indian jersey? It's very dark blue. Gets a bit confusing. Afghanistan, you're getting a bit about that, but that's an understatement to say the least. Why do I keep losing this? Yeah, 3 for 66 now, Sri Lanka are. Pakistan 2 for 65. Well, Afghanistan have finally lost themselves a wicket. I'll just post it. Afghanistan is 1 for 90 off 9 overs. Versus West Indies, it's tremendous, really tremendous. The jersey is spectacular, mate. Look, I don't think it's necessarily bad. It's different to the blue, though. The concept, yeah, fair enough. Do we have another T20 World Cup next year in Australia? Exactly. It's on time. It's meant to be next year in Australia. This one is being delayed, so that's why it appears one after the other. This particular tournament should have been played last year, and it wasn't. So it's been postponed this year. But the next one is straight after. Yes, it's in Australia next year. Should have been seeing it, yeah. So yes, it's definitely on next year. So I'll be reporting here live. I'm meant to be going to Dubai, but maybe I'll go for the last week or so. Amazing. Another World Cup next year. So you don't win this year, you can always win next year. Australia won't win next year, though. Sad to say. So 1 for 91 off 9 is Afghanistan versus West Indies. Pakistan is 2 for 66 after 9.4. So they're still heading for a reasonable total. We know Namibia had an exciting win over Netherlands. India have thumped Australia. Now, Sri Lanka is 3 for 60 out there after 9. They have recovered from a very poor start. They have recovered. And look like they could well be. They beat Ireland, well, that's cemented their spot, hasn't it? Wow, 58. Now, doing well with the. What's your top 4 teams this ongoing tournament? Should we think buffering? Is it buffering? Why is it buffering? I'm sitting here and I'm not buffering. Okay. So the top 4 teams, I'll say it again and again. England and the West Indies will be in one pool. India and either Pakistan or New Zealand will be the other 2. It's as simple as that. As simple as that. Australia and South Africa are gone. At this, India, like absolutely, India absolutely played with them today. Yeah. Okay. Not buffing. I think my network is slow. That's all right. Why is I not giving chance to Manu Slavashane and T20? Good question. He's been pigeonholed probably, as has Joe Root. So it's probably because of those 2 reasons. Otherwise, I don't know. Sri Lanka a 3 for 69 of 3 for 70 of 9.2. India smashed, thumped Australia. Is for test. That is true. It is true. It is true. Has he scored wrestling? He has done a bit of stuff in the England Premier Leagues. Pakistan 3 for 66 after 9.5. And Afghanistan 95 for 1 off 9.3. Heading towards 99 for 1 off 9.4. they're heading towards 100 off 10 overs. Quite phenomenal. Pretty amazing. All right. Today, Namibia has done well. I hope they continue this well. They're on the bottom. They're not going to make it through. Let's be honest. They have done well today. Yes, I'll give them that. Especially against the Netherlands. The Netherlands should have beat them. Is it still lockdown in Australia? It's not. We got out of that last week or week and a bit ago now. And we're now into a period where we're basically relaxing almost everything. The only thing that needs to be done now is interstate travel, which is at an all-time low. But Queensland being very stubborn, and so is WA. But we are going to be able to travel overseas November 1st. And that will mean that we'll be able to go overseas as long as we've got our COVID-19 negative test and we've got the jabs, the 2 vaccinations, which have to be less than 6 months old because they do leave your system needing a booster. And then we can come back to Australia. If we're an Australian citizen and we have had the test and had the 19 negative and the 2 jabs, which we've had before we left, then we can go straight back home without quarantine. Starts November 1st, which is not far away. It's only about 10 days away. Very happy with that. So, all right, guys, we might leave it at that. I think we've done it justice. So, India, go through the results. Won last time. Sri Lanka 3 for 78 after 10 overs. It is late there. It's almost 2 a.m. So Sri Lanka are 3 for 78 after 10 overs. India thumped Australia and won by 9 wickets, not 8. Namibia had an exciting win over Netherlands, winning by 6 wickets. Pakistan 3 for 67 after 10.1. And Afghanistan 1 for 100 off 10. Absolutely brilliant. All right, guys, stay tuned. We'll see each other tomorrow. Also, view, like, and share the posts. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you also hit the notification button and go from subscribe to subscribed. We need, we've got a fair few there. We just need one more just to really, from everybody to get that going. So please view, like, and share. Tell others about, the program. I would really appreciate that. Makes my life a lot easier. All right, so again, Afghanistan 1 for 100 after 10. It's just brilliant. One for 100. Not 2, but 1. Brilliant. All right, good. Thanks. Good night. Good night to you all, guys. See you later. View, like, and share the post. Subscribe. Hit the subscribe, like it's subscribed. Notification buttons on the far side, little bell. At Norman Koch is my Twitter, Instagram. My Facebook is Norman Kochnek. My LinkedIn is Norman Kochnek. So see you all tomorrow. Or probably today.